So life after the hospital is kind of an awkward stage. So I was in the hospital for about 21 years, in and out, fighting for my life. And some of you watching this have probably been in there for a couple of years, maybe at the low end a couple of months. But maybe you got some kind of disease, some kind of disorder, whatever it may be, and you've just been in and out of the hospital for a certain amount of years, some decades, some just years, like I said. And so it's like, what do you do afterwards? And I found myself with this problem when I turned 21. I was been in the hospital for 21 years, and so I really wasn't expecting to live as long as I did. Especially even now, like when I turned 30, that was kind of a surprise that I made it that long. I feel really old because those disabilities that they do wear on you, and also because just the amount of stuff that you go through, you never really expect to live as long as sometimes you end up living. And so I was expected to die by the time I was 10, and then even before that, I was given like a few months, and then the day I was born, I was supposed to die as well. And so having to make it to 21, I had to like figure out what to do with my life. And at the time, I was going to college and all that, which was fine. But some of you may not have the opportunity. Maybe you're not going to college. Maybe you want to start, whatever the case may be. But one of the first things I would recommend after being in the hospital for many years or fighting for your life for many years, take a break. That's one thing I wish I could have done was just take a mental break because it wears on you and it wears on your family. And so you need to just take some months off, like maybe at least 6 to 9 months, just depending on what you went through. For some of you, maybe a little bit less time. If you're thinking about going to college, just like take a semester off, maybe a whole year for some of you because you've been doing it your whole life. So take like some time off, go talk to somebody and just let it all out because you go through some stuff that sticks with you and you have to address these things. You get post traumatic stress disorder. You may go through depression. You may go through a lot of things of wondering why. So you need to take some time off and reflect on what happened. Maybe just have some appreciation that you made it out. Just go through just life figuring things out. I had to go on a spiritual journey. I have my pastor and I have people at the church. That kind of help me. Just kind of figure out, all right, what am I gonna do with my life now that I made it? Now that from the looks of it, I might live to be, who knows the normal age that what people normally die at. So you have to go on this spiritual journey, this mental and emotional journey, and just figure out, take a break. You know, um, for some of you, might just have to go to work. Figure out, get back to the groove of things. Um, just take some time off and know, like, find yourself again because your identity changes after you get out of the hospital. I don't know if this might just be me, but like the hospital time, the 21 years are there was like feels like a different lifetime ago. It feels like a different person. Like that wasn't me. And then post 21 years, after the 21 years, I feel like a different person. So I had to find my identity because my disorder and my all the things I went through in the hospital was kind of my identity. So I had to find myself, who I really am. You may have whatever condition you have, but that's not all of you. There's more to you than that. So you really have to figure out what you want to do in life and write a list down. So that's what I did. I wrote a list of things that I just wanted to do. It was a simple list. I wanted to walk or jog or run a 5K. It might sound simple to some of you because some of you can just get up and do it. For me, it was more the journey and the training because I couldn't even really run for I think no more than 30 seconds or jog for no more than 30 seconds. So I wanted a challenge and I wanted to do boxing, which I did. It was later years in life. I ended up doing like 6 or 7 years later after I wrote the list down in my head. And then the 5K took me about 3 4 years before I was able to do it. And then I wanted to graduate from college. I didn't necessarily want a PhD or even a bachelor's. I was like, just an AA degree would have done because it was just so difficult to do. So which I did do that, and I did the following things. And then I wanted to go into the ministry work, which I did. I went full time, and I'm still doing it till this day. And so I wrote a list of things, and those simple lists, and I was fortunate enough to knock everything down on that list and do it. And I did it for myself, to show that that I wasn't defeated, that this disorder didn't really get to me, that I was able to overcome it, and just do things and catch up on life that what other people were doing, I never got the chance to do. And so that's what might be something you want to do is catch up on some things. It may be social. When you're in the hospital so long, socially you're just awkward and You just have to make some friends, which I went and did, you know. So you do the social things, maybe date, you know, maybe in the hospital all the time, so you never got the chance to date, you know. And so go out on a date, go do something, you know, socially make some friends, go to college, but take that break in between, figure out who you are, gather things together because you feel like you're in broken pieces, and so come back together, you know. If you have to pray to God, you know, bring me back together. You know, I know I feel broken sometimes, so I always pray to God, bring me back together all the stuff I went through, you know. And so I had to self reflect. I had to come together and compose myself, and then really go back and live life. Because if you don't, it can really like lead to like mental illnesses, depression, all these things. If you don't really get yourself together and focus on you, you know. I mean, it was all you, all about you when you're going to the hospital, but also now after the hospital, you have to really be back on you again, but back to normal and how things are gonna be. You know, it may if you got something wrong with you, maybe got in a car accident and you're on this journey for of healing for a couple of years. You gotta kind of realize things are not gonna be the way they used to be, but you can get to them as close as possible. And so your new normal is gonna be something different. You know, the new you is gonna be something different. You know, it just changes you, going through all these things. And so it was a whole new world when I left the hospital. So it was just like I felt like I was in prison for 21 years, and I came out and the world was different. Yeah, I knew everything was going around me, but I really couldn't focus what was going on in the world because I had to focus what was going on in the hospital. Because when I was in the hospital, mentally I still was when I was home. So those are things that I had to come and catch up. So take the break, catch up, find out who you are, go on your journey in life, get back together, and then make a list of things you want to accomplish and do in life, and then do them. Because what's the worst that can happen? You've gone through it all. You're supposed to die. Now you're here. God bless. That you're still able to breathe. And do things and recover. Get your body, get your health to a certain level as best as you can. And overall, just continue living life and live life for yourself and others as well. Be kind to others and help others. So give back. Once you made it and you know what it's like to be on the other side. You know what it's like to, not have your health, and now you got it back, and now you're got everything. You took your break. You got everything back to normal. Give back to the community, whether it be a disabled community or somebody. Go volunteer. Go do something. Get back to the world. Leave it better than when you found it. Thanks for watching the video. Bye.